A couple of days ago, my channel got hacked. My whole YouTube channel got shut down. They stole my work. But here's how I made them irrelevant. Have you ever poured your heart into a project only to find that someone else copied your work and they took credit for the promotion that you deserved? I remember years ago sitting in my office, staring at an email and just watching how one of my colleagues was being praised for the exact strategy that I created 3 months earlier. I want to let you know that that moment changed my life, but not in the way you might think. So in this video, what I'm going to share with you is how you can make yourself so valuable that even when people try to copy your work, they can never replicate your success. When you're exceptional, impersonators can't ignore you. And that is a fact. When I was small, when my YouTube channel was less than 10,000 subscribers, definitely less than 5,000 subscribers, I didn't get any impersonators. No one paid attention to me. I wasn't on the radar for any hackers. And in fact, a couple of days ago, my channel got hacked. They used my name and profile and they did a live stream on my channel. And as a result of that, my whole YouTube channel got shut down. But when I was small, this would not have happened. So this is a mindset shift that you got to realize is that when you become so good at what you do, impersonators start to take notice. But you got to realize that on the flip side of that, excellence is a great defense. Number one, when you're exceptional, impersonators can't ignore you. You see, when I was small, when my YouTube channel was small, it was less than 10,000 subscribers, definitely less than 5,000 subscribers. I didn't have anyone impersonating me. I didn't have any hackers trying to hack into my YouTube channel and borrow my name and my profile to post videos or content. I didn't have that happening because I wasn't exceptional yet as an influencer. But recently, a couple of days ago, in fact, I was hacked and someone came in and got into my YouTube channel and posted their own content. And as a result of that, my whole channel got shut down. Realize that if you desire to be influential in your domain, you desire to be more visible as a result of that, you have excellence in your domain. You're exceptional at what you do, at what you say, and the insights that you put out there. As a result of that, people are going to take notice. And a percentage of those people who take notice are going to be opportunists, are going to be impersonators who try to copy your work. It's just part and parcel of the growth journey. All this to say that it's a mindset shift that recognize it's a part and parcel of it, but not try to avoid it because it's unavoidable. In fact, the more visible you are, the larger the YouTube channel I have, the more people will try to impersonate me. The more visible you are, the more team members you have and influence you have in your industry, the more people will try to get close to you and try to copy what you do. It's part and parcel of it, but don't try to avoid that, because if you try to avoid it because it's uncomfortable, avoid it because it doesn't feel good, then you also avoid the flip side of it as well. And the flip side of it is the positive aspects of this impersonation, which is you're excellent at what you do. You have influence, you have a large following. So avoiding one also avoids the other. It's not about avoiding it. It's about being who you can be at your greatest capacity while working towards your most meaningful goals and objectives for your professional future. There was a book out there, Cal Newport wrote a book, and it's called So Good They Can't Ignore You. There is merit to developing that level of skill in your communication, skill in your leadership. There is a great merit to that. And you also get to leave behind a legacy to people you influence. So you see, on the flip side of it, I know it doesn't feel good to be copied and it feels uncomfortable. I understand that it's uncomfortable, but on the flip side of it, you realize that excellence is also a good defense. When you're so good at what you do, you make others who copy you irrelevant, and there's no way they can duplicate your success because there's no one who can speak, who can lead, who can create that sort of impact better than you can. So excellence is also a really great defense. Number two, when you're differentiated, opportunists gravitate to you. This might sound like the point I made earlier, but it's not the same thing. Here I'm talking about being differentiated. What does that mean? The root word of differentiated is different. It means, how are you special? How are you unique? Understanding your uniqueness is the first step towards making others irrelevant. Even after they copy you, they can't replicate your success. The key to that is being differentiated. And a lot of executives that I work with, when they come to my coaching program and they already have success in their career path, a lot of them are leading teams, and a lot of them have bigger goals towards having more influence in their organizations. And when I ask them, well, what makes you different? What sets you apart from other people that are also in your industry? The first thing people tell me is all the college degrees they've had, the certifications, the numbers of years of experience. But you see, here's the thing. We've been taught to differentiate ourselves based on those metrics. The colleges we went to, years of experience. But here's the thing, if you're trying to differentiate yourself with those things, you've turned yourself into a commodity. Because think about how many other people can say they had an MBA in this college. How many other people can say they also had 12 years of experience? How many other people can say, I also have 3 college degrees and this certification? How many others can say that if they're competing for the same positions as you in the same industry? So don't try to compete based on the things, the metrics that turn you into a commodity. Figure out what differentiates you. The differentiators are the most important aspects to turning impersonators into irrelevant copycats who could never replicate your success. You see, those hackers who hacked my YouTube channel and my channel, the video they put on my channel, a lot of people saw it. And as a result of that, they might have been confused. They might have thought it was me. It was very confusing. And as a result of that, you see how it will not affect my growth. It doesn't affect my influence because no matter what they try to copy, they can't replicate my success because of how I've differentiated myself in the marketplace. And the same effect, you can have the same effect in your organization, in your industry too. The first thing is to answer the question, what makes you special? What sets you apart? Number 3, when you're branded, recognition will protect you. The key word here is branded. Yes, I am referring to your personal brand. You might be asking yourself, well, what's the difference between a personal brand and a professional brand? Well, here's the difference. The personal brand will inform your professional brand. Your professional brand is specialized to what you do in your professional work, in the workplace. But your personal brand really informs your professional brand. So then the importance here is in your personal brand. Now let's talk about, well, what is a personal brand? What's your brand? Simply put, your brand is the story that people think about as soon as they hear your name. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you happy with what they think about when they think of your name? Are you happy with what they talk to others about when you're not there? That's the story that comes to their mind when they think of your name. And regardless of whether or not you realize it, you already have a brand. You've either built your brand accidentally or you've built your brand intentionally, but you have a choice this point forward. Do you want to be in control of your brand? What is your brand currently saying to other people? What stories does it invoke in their minds? And when you have intentionally built your brand, it builds a recognition that will protect you. People begin to recognize you for certain things, especially if you incorporate being unique and differentiated, then there's a unique and special recognition of who you are and your brand. And if you hold to that brand with consistent and persistent effort, if you're congruent from the inside out with your brand, in other words, even when no one's looking, that's who you are. You live up to your brand, you're consistent and you're congruent with it. There's a recognition that comes behind it. And guess what? Your reputation will precede you. In other words, your reputation comes before you. They already trust you. They already want to meet you. They already want to listen to you before they even talk to you. Your reputation precedes you. Now, it's important that your reputation precedes you. It's a bad idea if your reputation exceeds you. So this is the reverse of it. If your reputation exceeds you, it means that before they met you, they already had an idea of who you are and your expertise and your character and your strength of character. They had an idea of that. And then when they met you, it didn't quite live up to that. That's when your reputation exceeds you. You want to have the other side of it. You want your reputation to exceed you. But in order for you to create that effect, you got to understand what is that brand recognition. The recognition will protect you. And when you have that protection, your rivals won't even be able to reach you. They can try to copy you. They can try to use your name. They can try to observe you and do what you do, follow in your footsteps, but they won't be able to reach you. So this is the third point. When you are branded, that protection, that reputation will protect you. And number 4, when you're influential, imitators can't overtake you. Influential is the key. The root word of influential is influence. And influence is the art and science of being able to have somebody, others, your audience members, naturally change their behaviors, their actions and their behaviors just to champion the cause that you've shared because you've shared it, communicated it so effectively. So that is my definition of influence. And when you have that influence, you are influential. You can't be influential if you don't have that influence. But if you're influential, here's what happens. Remember, when you're influential, it means you're communicating so effectively that others naturally change their actions and behaviors to champion your cause. And as a result of that, what happens? You build social capital. You build social capital. You build a group of people, and the more influence you have, the larger the social capital you have. And now think about this in terms of your fans and your followers. You have social capital, and your social capital will defend you. Your social capital will fight for your causes that you care about. Your social capital will be able to speak on your behalf when you're not there. And your social capital will be keen to continue following you until you've insulted them. So social capital is really important because when you have it, your imitators can't overtake you. And I understand that being influential to that degree is not easy, and it isn't. But the real reason why it's not easy is because there's a big responsibility to having that level of influence. I mean, when you have a group of people who are your fans and followers, this is my opinion, and you tuned in to hear my opinion. My opinion is that it's really important to put the relationship with your social capital ahead of your own self-interest. And the reason why is because if they're listening to you and they are changing their actions and behaviors as a result of your communications and the insights you share, you don't want to lead them towards being lost. You don't want to lead them in the wrong direction. You don't want to lead them astray. And that is a huge responsibility. Influence is a huge responsibility. On the flip side of that, it offers you a lot of protection. It offers you a place where your imitators can't overtake you. But on the flip side of that, remember, everything has positive and negatives, right? The other flip side of that is that it is a huge burden of responsibility, but it's a burden of responsibility that you undertake, that you say yes to if you desire to be influential.